Do you know that feeling where you just knock it out of the park with your parenting and you're like, yes, that was a good one? You can have those moments more and more frequently with a little bit of structure around the way that you discipline. Welcome to Worldly Families. I'm Justine Janae. Traveling to over 40 countries and living abroad has opened my eyes to new ways of being and doing. I'm all about helping you expand your horizons so you can live and parent more intentionally and more joyfully. In this video, we'll be talking about positive discipline, which is a parenting framework created and popularized by Dr. Jane Nelsen. There are 5 basic components to positive discipline. 1, be kind and firm. If you err on the side of being too kind without being firm enough, you might be too permissive. If you err on the side of being too firm without being kind, then you're probably too authoritarian. You want to hit that middle ground, that perfect balance of being kind and firm at the same time, which makes you a very authoritative parent, which is the kind we want to be. 2, belonging and significance. Dr. Jane Nelsen talks about how humans in general, not just the little ones, but all of us crave a sense of belonging and significance. When our children feel those feelings, the behavioral issues melt away. There are a couple ways that we can foster those feelings in our children. One is to spend one-on-one time with them. Quality time every single day, even if it's 10 minutes, carve out 10 minutes of your day or 15 minutes or 30 minutes if you have it or if you can find it, and just be fully present with your child, involved in their world, probably just doing something that they want to do. The second way is to give them lots of choices within the bounds of what you would like to see happen. 3, tools work long term. This means that with positive discipline, these solutions work long term, whereas when you're parenting with rewards and punishments for good or bad behavior, that will work in the short term, but it's not going to work in the long term. Essentially, with rewards and punishments, you're making everything about extrinsic motivation. If I do this, I get that. If I don't do this, I don't get that. Or if I do this, I get that taken away. And if I don't do this, I don't get that taken away. It's all about a mental calculus and a game, as opposed to parenting with positive discipline, where you're really focusing on finding the root causes of behavior with your child, digging deeper under the surface of like, what's really going on here? Or is there something stressing you at home or at school that we can dive in deeper that's causing you to get a bad grade or be disruptive in class or whatever it is? So rather than just playing whack-a-mole with the symptoms, look under the surface and figure out why those behaviors are popping up. That is going to help your child learn how to do that type of self-reflection for themselves as they get older, and it's also going to have a long-term lasting effect. 4, valuable social and life skills. Positive discipline helps you walk your child through the process of understanding what's going on with them, whether it's a body thing, they're hot, they're hungry, they're low blood sugar, and that's making them irritable and cranky, or whether it's a mental health thing. The pandemic has really made it feel like Groundhog Day, and they don't have the words to describe that. Being able to self-reflect and figure out what is causing your own behavior is valuable for adults and extremely valuable for kids. So modeling that with your kids and working through it with them helps them develop that skill set for life. 5, children are capable. When you parent with positive discipline, children feel like they're in a healthy relationship with you, that it's not you're over them, but that they have this support system, that you're on the same team and that they are fully capable of managing their own behavior and learning and improving it. And part of that will to improve is based on that close relationship that they have with you. They want to do right by you. The main overarching premise is that the parent moves from the role of being this disciplinarian who punishes bad behavior and into the role of a teacher, a guide, a coach, somebody that is on their children's side. You're on the same team with your kids, trying to help them figure out how to navigate the world and themselves. Within this framework, mistakes are wonderful learning opportunities. It's not that it's bad behavior. Testing boundaries and figuring out what happens when you do certain things in the world is totally normal for kids who are developing and learning how to be in the world. It's what we do next and how we help navigate when the mistakes are made that matters. So for example, if your child sneaks an entire bag of candy and eats the whole thing in one sitting, you look at the label and you're like, wow, that was 200 grams of sugar. You can either punish your child and take away all candy and sugar, or you could talk to your child about what happens in your body and your brain when you consume that much sugar, and then make it okay. Like, this happens even as an adult. I sometimes overindulge. What I do next is I allow my body to detox from it. I want to allow my body to clear out whatever it is I had too much of and sort of reset itself, reestablish that balance. So it becomes a natural consequence to avoid sugar for some time to allow your body to rebalance itself. And when you phrase it that way, it's not, I'm punishing you by taking away sugar. It's, hey, here's what we do when we accidentally overindulge, because it's probably going to happen again, even as an adult, maybe with other substances besides sugar. And it's important to build in that skill set so they know, okay, if I went too far this way, I got to balance it back out and then, find that middle ground again where I can be happy and stable and healthy. Dr. Jane Nelsen has a ton of books and information out there. I would highly recommend checking out her website. I'll link to it below. She also has training courses if you want to become trained in positive discipline or in how to teach positive discipline. I was so happy when I discovered this because it's how I naturally was drawn to parenting, and it's kind of naturally what I did, but putting the framework around it and the words to it was just like, oh yes, that's what I needed. One note I'll make from my own life is when you parent this way, it's about building an ongoing relationship of trust, and things aren't going to necessarily switch overnight. You will see sometimes where you have these deep heart-to-hearts and the behavior changes. You're like, oh my gosh, it's amazing. And maybe it doesn't stick forever. That's okay. People have habits. Habits are hard to change. Just keep having the conversation. Don't do it one time or two times and then when they relapse, go, oh, this doesn't work. Keep at it, because the more you build this closeness and this trusting relationship, the more that the undesirable behaviors will just melt away. So give it some time, give it several months, and see how different your relationship with your children can be. Really quickly, please like and subscribe if you're getting value out of this. It really helps me out. Best of luck with your parenting journey. I hope that positive discipline is just the tool in your toolbox that you needed to significantly alter and improve your home dynamic. I'll see you in the next video.